Alright, what's up guys? So I wasn't planning on making any videos during March for personal reasons, but Bleach Rebirth of Souls just came out and I'm having a blast with it. So first of all, I don't really play arena fighters at all. The extent of my arena fighter experience is some dog-ass or blocks games, but despite that fact, Bleach Rebirth of Souls just called out to me, especially with the fact that it's more similar to traditional fighting games. What I mean when I say that is the way the game flows. Aspects like the traditional fighter style meter and the way you're forced to look at your opponent make the game feel more like Tekken than a game like Sparking Zero. Another aspect that captured me is the animation. The fighting game industry has almost perfected 3D anime. Studios like Yaschas have made so much progress towards making anime fighting games look the way that they do, and Bleach is no exception. Even though it isn't made by Yaschas, Bleach Rebirth of Souls is a beautiful game that masterfully represents its home series in a way that would not have even been thought possible a couple years ago. But that's enough about how the game looks. How does it feel? The game is extremely beginner friendly, with a simple control layout of light attack, medium attack, and your character's unique skill. Compared to games like Street Fighter, the depth of the normals in this game is like comparing an atom bomb to a crying baby. However, the game does still have depth that members of the FGC can appreciate. Similar to Tekken 8's simplified special moves,
what is this overlay on my screen? Oh, he has modern on?
Bleach has you hold L2 to pull up your special move menu. This allows for permanent modern controls, making it easy to perform special moves, installs, and vanishes without the hassle that comes with a game like Street Fighter. For me, this is an important feature, but it's mechanics like these that allow for arena fighters to become so prominent in general audiences.
Turn away! Avoid the fingers! There's a battle zone! Oh! Oh! Oh my god! His partner finished that! Is that last shooting?
From what I've found so far, there isn't much skill expression beyond labbing character-specific combo routes, but it's only been one day since launch, so someone's bound to discover something. I've pretty much gone over my initial thoughts about the game itself, so I'm going to do a little guide on the base game mechanics, and how you can get started. First of all, there are two auto combos you can perform. One uses the light attack and the other uses the medium one. Both of these lead into the game's main offensive mechanic. I don't remember what any of the things in the game are called, but it's similar to the drive impact mechanic from Street Fighter VI. When your opponent is at 30 or below % health, this move can lead into your super move. These supers are the main way to deal damage, as each character has multiple health bars. The drive impact mechanic can also be followed up with an automatic attack using the X button. This consumes 1 bar of your reverse meter. When not following up a drive impact, the X button is used to dash, run, sidestep, and backdash. This is the main movement mechanic, but you can't block while doing any of these, so be careful. Now we'll talk about the meters. You have 4 meters in this game: Reverse, EX, your health bar, and your progress towards awakening. When your health bar is depleted, it results in a soul break. This will automatically take 1 life away and put your opponent into a stunned state, allowing for a super. It is highly incentivized to deplete your opponent's health bar instead of going for your super at 30% health. This is because without a soul break, your super will count the current health bar as a full one, making your super effectively do 1 less life of damage. The main way to do your special moves in this game is the EX meter. The EX meter appears as a yellow bar above your reverse gauge. All special moves cost 1 or 2 of your yellow EX meter. Specific characters may have extra costs, but the main rule is that you need to keep your EX meter for combos or unblockables. The reverse gauge is what allows you to go into reverse. This is an install that adds damage to your moves. There are 3 types of reverse. Yellow reverse is performed by inputting L2 and square at the same time in neutral. Yellow reverse is performed the same way, but only when performing another move, effectively acting as a cancel, allowing for extra combos. And blue reverse, which is similar to the burst mechanic from Guilty Gear, is performed by pressing L2 and square at the same time but in hit or block stun.
Mark of my dignity shall scar thy DNA.
The final and most important gauge in the game is Evolution Meter. This is what allows your character to become permanently powered up for the rest of the game. For many characters, it's their first or second Zanpakuto release, but for others, they have unique installs. Examples of characters like this are Aizen with his enhanced Hogyoku, Soifon with her incomplete Shunko, and Yoruichi with her complete Shunko. This is mostly to serve as a way to close the distance between you and your opponent in terms of health. Evolution increases damage, changes the properties of moves, and gives you access to new, even more damaging supers. Some characters have 2 or 3 awakenings, allowing them to get seriously powerful by the end of a drawn-out game. This mechanic is very interesting as it's similar to the V-trigger mechanic from Street Fighter V, but with no timer. This is also an interesting way to incorporate Bleach's transformations into the game. Like most fighting games, positioning is the most important thing. You need to make sure that you're properly spaced from your opponent to exploit any mistakes they make. Unlike games like Street Fighter and Tekken, the movement options in this game are considerably faster, especially with options like Flash Step and Sonido. This forces you to react to a great amount of options at the same time. This is the main part of the game that takes skill. Similar to games like Tekken, zoning is not as powerful because of the option of flash stepping. This is performed by holding L2 and pressing X. This teleports your character to behind your opponent, allowing for a counterattack if you catch them pressing a button. Sidestepping is also an effective counter to zoning, making only a select few characters able to zone effectively. Normally when playing a game I have no experience with, I try to pick the character that has the most depth to their kit. That's why I picked Soifon in this game. But in all honesty, there's so many cool characters, it's not really even my main. Not all the characters have complex combos, but they're all unique and have interesting designs. I only just finished Bleach, so I'm still in the phase of thinking everything Bleach related is cool. So this game came out just at the right time. Speaking of combos, I want to talk about why I picked Soifon and how she's different from the rest of the cast. First of all, she's hot. Second of all, she has a mechanic called Anken. This is similar to Ibuki's kunais from Street Fighter, but she can also combo off them. She can loop 2 sets of Anken per string. This means you can combo medium into Anken, into medium into Anken, and then into another medium. She can also combo Anken off of Anken, allowing her to throw 3 pairs in 1 string. This is why her combos are so long. And if she uses yellow reverse, it resets the amount of Anken thrown, allowing for another 2 pairs to be comboed. She also has a move called Nigeki Kessatsu. It's her special move on triangle, and when fully charged it puts a mark on your opponent. If you fully charge it again, it will instantly kill your opponent, taking all of their health bars. There's this cool tech I found on YouTube that lets you fully charge Nigeki Kessatsu after any hit at 30% health. I think that a lot of the characters are really cool, but Soifon just seemed like the most in-depth. But overall, this game is really fun, and my buddies and I have been having a blast figuring out all the characters and how they're supposed to be played. The game's initial roster is huge, so we haven't even played all the characters yet, but I hope that the game continues to receive support from its development, and maybe it can become a mainstream fighter. As I said, I wasn't going to make a video during March for personal reasons, but this game is just so freaking good. I know I've been focusing a lot on the anime reviews, but what I'm really passionate about is fighting game content. So making content like this is a lot more fulfilling, but it doesn't get as many views. So I guess maybe I could just lock in on doing stuff like this. Maybe I'll do a video on the CPT format, but yeah, leave a comment. Tell me if you actually do want to see more fighting game content from me, because that's what I'm really into. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Here's some videos YouTube thinks you might like. So like and subscribe, do all the shit. But thanks for watching. Bye-bye.